fucking blasted. So it was just like
It's done enough blasting so far. It's its turn now.
yeah. Plus 50 points on the Maleceptor. So this just seems so fucking weird. Like
50 points? Are you that seems whack to me, bro.
I would
Oh, you think it should
rather
be more?
no. I would rather they nerfed it by changing its rules and shit than by adding 50 points onto a datasheet. That just baffles
50
me.
points is an insane price hike. Like, I think up until now, the highest points hike I've seen was probably the Void Weavers.
Yeah.
And that was what, like 30 points? 35 points, I think? Was it? No, 45 points, right?
It was a lot, but yeah, this just seems crackers to me. Like I points leaks should be used to point changes should be used to make fine adjustments to balance, not an enormous fucking sledgehammer to a plastic model. I would have rather if they'd just changed the rules that make it egregiously awful in terms of its mortal wound output. But
Well, this is the thing. So, as this Games Workshop sending a message saying, we have no problem if a model deals on average 22 mortal wounds, but we're going to charge you the earth for it.
yeah, does seem a bit odd to me. Aside
But
from
they're
that,
doing it. Go on. Sorry.
no, carry on.
I was going to say it's just they're going the way of like the squig buggies and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? They're just. But I suppose the squig buggy's got a nerf on how many units you could take. Now they're just saying, well, like I say, will points cost it out so you can't take 3, 6, whatever.
Yeah, well, Squig Buggies got nerfed in a multitude of ways. They got a points increase. They got the maximum unit count you can bring nerf, and they got the out of line of sight nerf.
Yeah.
So they got like triple whammied to the point where they're now completely worthless and nobody brings them in any lists whatsoever.
Good thing you didn't buy any.
Yeah, yes, it's I don't like them nerfing things into unplayability. That's just not good.
Bollocks.
Not good
I
business
think
practice.
anybody who is still awaiting a codex, aka God, Chaos, stuff like that. When you get your codex, if anything seems too good to be true, do not, for the love of God, run out and buy 6 of them, because you're guaranteed 3 months down the line or less, you're gonna be selling off.
Yeah,
them.
but if you're a meta chaser, go ahead and buy 6 of them because they'll be busted as fuck for 3 months, and you'll be able to go to tournaments and ruthlessly pound people to death until they get nerfed. So you know.
And then you sell it and move on to the next
Exactly.
meta army. Hell yeah, bro.
Problem solved. Aside from Maleceptors, the Hive Tyrant got its base and flying version nerfed by 20 points. I believe this was as a result of they could come down. I mean, they already fixed the Hive Tyrant in a couple of ways. They made it so that you can't come down and fuck off at the same turn. And they made it so it can't take 2 of those cannons on the model, even though you could never technically take 2 on there. It just was an option. So the Hive Tyrant got blasted a bit more with point hikes.
Has that included the Swarm Lord as well, then, Nathan, or is that just the 2 base
Tyrant
versions? Right.
Harpy, probably one of the second biggest offenders after the Maleceptor, got pounded a little bit, just gently, softly, by 10 points. And then Warriors, Raveners up by 5. All Venom Cannons on every single platform that they can go on are up by 5. I think that's one of the Hive Tyrant's guns. And Pyrovores went up by 10. So not.
Yeah, Pyrovores had some pretty mean flavor.
Yeah. Like Harpy, you see 2 Harpies in every single list. And they were a bit of a ball ache, but yeah, man, it's just baffles me that you'd knock a model up by 50 points just to.
It's a bit crackers.
Yeah, it's I don't personally like I like the approach to everything else, but the Maleceptor should have been nerfed in different ways, I think, instead of like whacking up those points, because dealing 20 odd 30 odd mortal wounds out of line of sight
I think people are still gonna take it.
Exactly. It's still gonna feel bad on the table, even if it costs more than.
Maybe actually that's not a bad way to go, right? If you still want to do dumb shit, sure, but you gotta pay for it.
Yeah. It just seems peculiar. Who
Be interesting to
knows?
see roughly. Be interesting to see roughly when you think about it. So, Tyranny Warriors were getting spammed quite hard, weren't they? So, and you would take, I think, in a couple of lists we saw, it was kind of like a 50-50 or a 70-30 on whether they had the venom cannons or not.
Yeah.
So each warrior that you take with a venom cannon's gone up effectively 10 points.
Yes.
So minimum unit size, so that's gone up 30 points. Malceptor's 50 points. So probably, I mean, a 2,000 point army is probably increased, what, 20-30% in cost?
I have no idea.
It'd be interesting to have a look at it, actually, maybe as an afterthought. Having a look at a couple of tournament winning lists and then seeing, okay,
I imagine
how
it
much
will add
how much damage has it
an
done?
extra 200 to 300 points onto the average Tyranid army. No joke. The Maleceptors people
Yeah.
ran like multiple. The
Yeah.
Harpies people always ran 2. Hive Tyrants people
Yeah.
always ran, and the Tyranid Warriors. That's quite a
Were a
significant
staple.
amount. So yeah, 200-300
warriors
points.
are troops as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the consensus ever since the codex got leaked and people started playing with it, the consensus was always that
Everything
it's
was
a
too
very
cheap.
very undercosted codex. So they had it coming. It just took them how many months now?
I don't know. Not a clue. And it's not even out yet. So it's not even official stuff. It's probably... I don't know when the next balanced data slate is due.
Well, we had one in May, didn't we?
Yeah, and they do it every 3 months.
3 months. So August.
But this is not from the balanced data slate. These are points cost changes from the new Warzone book. Right?
Oh, yes, that's it. Warzone Nephilim.
Right.
Yeah.
So when does that officially drop?
Oh, fuck knows. It's done when it's done, I guess. Let me check.
On the Warzones are the Warzones not quarterly?
Yeah, they are meant to be. Yeah, because they had this.
Yeah, the
whole
Warzones are meant to be quarterly every 4
3
months.
Yeah, something like that,
3 months, sorry.
I don't know when it's coming out. I can't see a release date for it. Anyway, moving on to more positive things. My boys, my absolute lads, the Chaos Possessed. So there's no longer Possessed. There's no longer Greater Possessed. They're all now completely different, but they're still just called Possessed. But they're technically the Greater Possessed in terms of bases and model size and shit. They're fucking insane. And I'm not gonna lie, I own 2, and I immediately went on eBay and I was like, right, I need 8 more. So that's happening. They're T5.
Are you not waiting for the new kit?
Waiting for the new what?
Kit.
Nah, this is cheaper.
Doesn't matter.
This is much cheaper.
Oh.
They're the same
Fair
price,
enough.
same base, and it works out horrendously cheap because loads of people bought the start collecting kits and didn't want like the Obliterators and the Greater Possessed, so they sell them on eBay for like fuck all. And I'm like, I'll snap those up. That's fine.
Fair play.
Yeah, you can now take them in squads of 10 instead of just 2 or the 5 of the previous iteration. They're T5 and Strength 5. They have a 9-inch move, which is fucking crackers. 3 wounds. So they're basically Terminators.
Well, the Paladins. They're not. No, Terminators have got. Oh yeah, Terminators do have 3 wounds.
But,
sorry.
Yeah, they're T5. So they're like Death Guard Terminators, I guess, but they move super fast. They get 5 attacks each, which is also insane. I'm guessing the leader will get +1 attack as well. Leadership 9, 3 up save, and a 5 up invuln. And then their weapons are Strength 5, AP -2, flat 2 damage. They can take cult icons, fucking hell, not GSC. Chaos icons. So with Slanesh, they get +1 to hit, so they hit on 2s. As Khorne, they get +1 AP, so their weapons become 5 -3 flat 2, which suddenly becomes very spicy in a world of Armor of Contempt. And Nurgle's is 6 to hit auto wound with 5 attacks each on 5 dudes. It's like 26 attacks, so you're getting approximately 4 auto wounds. Not bad. It's kind of interesting. I mean, personally, if I'm running World Eaters, I'll only be able to run with the Khorne icons, but. Oh, and they also have a -1 leadership aura, which by itself is meh. But if you play them as Night Lords, that means that they have like a 6-inch or 9-inch aura of -3 leadership and -1 combat attrition test. So you can
actually
throw
see
a unit of Chaos Possessed as Night Lords into a squad of Custodes and kill one. And they'll fail leadership unless they roll a 1. And obviously they get -1 to their combat attrition. So
no, they're not.
Yeah. So
No.
are we actually saying here that for once leadership is a thing?
only for Night Lord Chaos Possessed.
Yeah,
Leadership's been a thing. Like a few armies have done like weird leadership things. It's just not very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the general consensus over the last 6 months of doing this podcast is like they always chucked in a leadership thing, but it didn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
Where this time round it clearly does.
Yeah, usually it's not that it doesn't matter. It's just it's an option. It just so happens that every other option is so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it, just was it? Oda have some really wacky leadership things that they can do, right? They can snipe characters based on leadership and do really bizarre things. Drakari can do some really nifty stuff with leadership. One of the covens is based around leadership, and they can do stuff. It's just everything else is better and
Yeah.
easier
I was going
to
to say
do.
they're your boys. So would you plan an army around those leadership debuffs, or?
I would if there weren't better things to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there's my point. So for the first time, we actually have a unit, aka in the way of Night Lords, that actually probably will be something that you can build around them.
I don't think that you'd build around them. I think it's a nice bonus.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you would build around it. I think again, yeah, it's a nice bonus. I think a Night Lord's army, they're already getting Night Lords are basically Solar Watch Custodes. They get +1 to advance and +1 to charge. So yeah, a Night Lord's army would probably run a lot of Raptors, Warp Talons, Possessed, and just sort of autistically screech up the board and do shit.
The fact that these guys have a baseline invul save, are they still going to benefit from Armor of Contempt?
I truly do not know if Armor of Contempt will affect
Be a thing in the chaos.
I'm not sure.
Because obviously currently it does.
Games Workshop giveth and Games Workshop taketh
Games
away.
Workshop
So,
taketh away, yeah.
you know, the CSM Codex was not designed with Armor of Contempt in mind, so we may find that the Codex is egregiously silly with Armor of Contempt. So yeah, it's
I mean, they're already what T5 3 wounds, 5 up in one, so basically Terminators.
Yeah, better.
I don't think they don't have a normal 2 up though, do they?
No, 3 up, 5 up. But they don't. So they don't have storm shields or anything like that. So it's feasible that they would get Armor of Contempt, unless
it's interesting because go on, sorry.
Unless they keyword Armor of Contempt, unless they keyword the invuln provided to Demonkin, and then add that keyword to the exclusions of Armor of Contempt, the same way they added storm shields.
Fair enough. They've also, in the article, it mentions, but doesn't go into any detail of what it is, but they have the Let the Galaxy Burn.
I think that's
ability?
just their. I think that's just Space Marine doctrines.
Oh, right, okay.
So the normal Space Marines. What they have a keyword, don't they, for their doctrines? Angels of Death or whatever it is. I think that's just the Chaos version of Angels of Death.
Which
where
means there's going to be varying ones for
Yeah.
varying factions.
so yeah, because Angels of Death gives you a bunch of
Yeah, it's just like a keyword to let you know that they have all the bolted discipline and they shall
Yeah.
know no fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullshit.
So I think that's chaos versions of that. So you're getting your disciplines and your chapter tactics and shit like that all through that keyword. I don't think it's anything special. I think it's just their default wording.
Well, what's interesting is it says, and I quote verbatim: "If that wasn't enough warp fueled power from from one unit, the possessed can also take quote Let the Galaxy Burn, an awesome name for an awesome new ability shared by many units in the upcoming Codex Chaos
Maybe
Space
it's
Marines."
something else.
Don't know.
So that's what makes me think. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe it's something
Because
else.
it's not gonna. If it's not gonna be flat across the range, I suppose I'm trying to think what might be excluded, and if cultists are gonna be in there, then obviously cultists aren't gonna get fucking the equivalent of
Doctrines.
that.
No.
But what else is there? Because if
Yeah.
they're possessed, it's obviously
The
it'll apply
wacky
to any
thing is there's
possessed
quite a
units.
lot of keywords across the Chaos Space Marine Codex. Like you've obviously got Heretic Astartes, but then you also have Demon Kin. Then you've got Demon Engines, and then you've got standard vehicles that aren't Demon Engines. So there's quite a lot of weird keywords floating around in CSM that's not present elsewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Not a damn clue.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's all something to look forward to.
Exactly. Yeah, but World Eaters with fucking possessed with 9-inch move and 5 attacks each. Yeah, I'll fucking take that.
You just wait. World Eaters don't get possessed.
I'll be so
man, no.
fucking sad. Honestly, like I said, when the CSM Codex drops, I'll probably end up playing Word Bearers. While I wait for the World Eaters Codex, because Word Bearers get reroll charges or something like that. I can't remember what it is. It's something that makes them get into combat quicker. So yeah, well,
I've got a feeling the Red Corsairs are going to be quite prominent in the news codex. I don't know why. I think, I do know why. Part of us believes that Huron Blackheart is well overdue a new sculpt.
yeah. I mean, Red Corsairs
and
are a good delivery system for Chaos Space Marines as well, if I recall correctly. I think they get reroll charges right now, or +1 to charge. I can't remember. Yeah. So there's options for me to play before World Eaters come out.
And they were quite prominent in the last Black Crusade type scenario. I mean, Abaddon gave him a bloody what do you call it?
Bloody Blumpkin.
Yeah.
The bloody Blumpkin. I know, you know the big ships, the one that he crashed into Acadia, Blackstone Fortress.
He gave them a Blackstone for what the fuck?
Blackstone.
Yeah, in the law. Huron Blackheart was gifted one. The Red Corsairs were gifted one.
Make any sense. These things are supposed to be rare.
Yeah, but Abaddon had 4 of them or something. And because the Red Corsairs had done something like really helpful or whatever or fucking thing, yeah, he was given one. I'm not sure if it was at last Black Crusade or if it was actually you know the 3 books we had leading up to the fall of Cadia?
Nope.
Where the Triumvirate was introduced. Where when you had Belisarius Call, Gulliman, and Inquisitor Greyfax, those 3 characters were introduced.
I wasn't paying attention to any of that stuff back then.
Fair enough.
I'm afraid. I do not know.
Well, it's either in the lore-wise, it was either then or, like I say, during the fall of Cadia, which actually I think covers those books anyway. Anyway, like I say, Blackheart was given a bloody Blackstone Fortress. So between that, the fact that he's due a new sculpt, I've just got an inkling. Feel it in my bones, man.
Maybe they are in the new codex.
They might do what they did with like the Eldar Codex and the Inari, where they just shoehorn them in a bit.
True.
Because I think Black Legion's going to be predominant, the equivalent to the Ultramarines, and then as far as Codex compliant is concerned, like I say, you're going to have Red Corsairs, Night Lords, because then when you got to think about it, so the Death Guard have got their own codex. Thousand Sons have got their own codex. World Eaters are going to get their own codex. So then, traitor legions wise, it only leaves you Night Lords and
There's tons.
who you said?
There's a bunch, dude.
There's quite a lot.
You got Iron Hands, Night Lords,
Imperial
no,
No, not Iron.
Word-
Iron Warriors.
Sorry, what did I say?
Iron Hands.
Oh, sorry, no,
Iron
Iron
Warriors.
Warriors. Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors, Night Lords,
Word Bearers.
Dark Angels.
Word Bearers. Don't count Dark Angels, bollocks.
Who else is there? I think that's it, right?
There's a
Corsair.
bunch. There's like 8 or 9 of them.
That is it. No,
including
that is it. Traitor Legion wise, it's going to be.
Emperor's Children.
Yeah, okay, 4.
There's more than 4.
What?
Alpha Legion,
Original
Black Legion, Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors, Night Lords, Word Bearers, World Eaters, Creations of Bile, plus the Red Corsairs and the other Renegade chapters like the Flawless Host and the Scourged.
No, I don't think there's going to be part of it, are they?
I think it would just be Red Corsairs.
I was going to say,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In the
But
core.
there's tons. Anyway, moving on. There's more than 4.
Right, go on.
Other leak that came out was a very blurry image of Imperial Guard, which has Creed, but not Creed.
Yeah, it's not Creed.
It's definitely Creed, allegedly, but not Castellan Creed. It's a female Creed. There is allusions that it's his daughter, and she has a tactical rock base, as is the core design of fucking characters these days. And it's got like a weird Cadia pillar thing behind it. I don't know, it looks kind of cool. I'll probably buy it. I like Imperial Guard stuff. They've got new Caskins, new command squad, which is definitely new command squad because the one of them's got a tactical rock as well, which is not in the original kit. New heavy weapons team, new scout sentinels, new armored sentinels, and new heavy weapons team, I believe. Oh, and a new commissar. Commissar actually looks really fucking rad, but unfortunately commissars are complete trash as they stand. So hopefully their execution will be made valid.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Can I ask, where have these images been?
It's it looks like it's from a codex. It looks like official GW artwork that someone's got from something. Not sure where it's from, but I would imagine it's from a codex or from some commercial thing.
Right.
It's got them fighting Gene Stealers.
Oh, right, yes.
But the Sentinels look
The new Sentinels look quite tasty, actually. There's not that much difference between the old ones, but I see where they're going with it.
Yeah. They look...
Is this the image where they're fighting the Nids?
Yeah, they look a bit bigger. The Sentinels. They look quite chunk. And the bases look bigger. I don't know whether they're going to be on like a similar base size as the Iron Strider Ballistari. Because they look like that.
Or the oval ones.
Yeah.
Those Corsicans actually look like they're on 32mm bases.
Oh, 100%. It wouldn't surprise me
25
if they moved all elite stuff up to 32mm.
So, yeah. She looks like she's on a 50mm base.
That's not a 50mm base.
40?
Yeah, it'll be a 40. Probably 32, but might be 40. I think it's
Somewhat
just the
maybe they'll pull off a Sisters of Battle.
Oh yeah, like the fucking Hospitaller with a 50mm base. No, I think it's just perspective of the photo, because her model is at the front of the photo and the Caskins are behind. So I think it makes her base look bigger than it actually is. Yeah. So new Creed.
I'm really confused. Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what the actual helmets look like on the Corsicans? Shit. PlayStation.
They look like shit. I mean, yeah, I agree.
Game. Oh, hell's bells.
Never played that game.
Do either of you remember when PlayStation tried to release? It was the equivalent of the Xbox Gears of War. Did it begin with a H?
Oh, I know which one you
Haze?
mean. No, he's on about the. Is it Killzone?
Killzone.
Yes, Killzone. Yeah, those helmets
Killzone.
look like the enemies in Killzone.
I never played it. PC Master Race, etc., etc.
Hell yeah, brother.
Just Google Killzone 2
Making me sully
for
my
a second.
Google search
Google
history with this bullshit.
Images.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, yeah. I see it.
Sorry.
I see it. I'm not really sure what role Cassikins are going to serve, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, they're just Tempest to Science, aren't they? Right.
Obviously, because Cadia stands, as we discussed last night, and Cadian Guardsmen are the equivalent of the Ultramarines, they're going to do some janky shit.
I'm assuming they'll just be Tempestus Scions, but without the Tempestus Scion keyword, and they'll just benefit from normal regiment keyword instead. Like, I fully expect that's it. That's fucking it. They might get one extra wacky ability, aside from, you know...
Oh, you've got to remember, the Corsikans are exclusive to Cadia.
Are they?
Yeah.
If they make Cassikins exclusive to the Cadian regiment, that will be absolute horseshit.
They always have been.
Cassikins?
Yeah,
they don't even fucking exist in the rules right now, though, do they?
Pretty sure they do.
Don't think they do.
Like, you can't have Cassican Talon Desert Raiders, and you can't have Cassican...
Yeah, no, Cassikins don't exist in the rules.
Well, what the class does?
They don't exist.
In the current card codex, they just don't exist. Full stop.
No.
Are they not stormtroopers then?
No. The models you've got are they're just not in the game anymore. You can't buy them. You haven't been able to buy Cassikins in years.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But it used to be law-wise that Cassikins were exclusive to Cadia because they were the Cadian shock troops. They weren't guard shock troops.
I don't think they make them exclusive to Cadian only. That would be very questionable. That would be like making Incursors or Infiltrators exclusive to Raven Guard. It'd just be a bit wacky. But who knows? Questionable decisions have been made before.
I was going to say, I think it'd be more inclined to say Honor Guard are exclusive to Ultramarines.
Yeah, I guess, but these guys aren't Honor Guard, are they? They're just elite troops.
Yeah.
The final section, which will either bring joy or intense hatred to your heart. There is a model in the Leagues of Votan called a Hecaton Land Fortress. And it insinuates that it has a crew and that it moves.
Let's go. The train pain is here.
Yeah. So that it's a thing. And the reason this got leaked is because there's a stratagem that makes it fight on its top bracket for 1 CP.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm not sure why you'd want a land train to be able to fight. But
maybe the guys come off the train and punch you in the penis.
Oh, actually, by saying that, you've just made me think. Maybe it's going to be like the kill rig. And it's going to be this vehicle that has like a bunch of modular things you can put on it. And it has a bunch of dudes like attached to it that are like the snagger boys that can attack in combat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Hopefully it's not as egregiously silly as the kill rig. Saying that, it'll probably be a lot tougher to kill than the kill rig. Because it should have actual armor.
Yes.
Aside from this land fortress that we've not seen a picture of, There is also a Votan medic. The medic is a little bit more spicy in that for 1 CP it can revive D3 models, but it has to be.
It's interesting, yeah.
It has to be part of the unit. So it sounds like you're going to be able to put medics in your squads of troops, kind of like Imperial Guard can.
But that's good because it means they can't be targeted as character units.
Yeah, exactly.
So they couldn't be sniped.
I think it's going to operate very similar to GSC, where they've got like their icons in the squad.
Yes.
We've got the names of the leagues. They're all a bit fucking weird. I'll pronounce them probably wrong. There only appears to be 6, I think. Urani Surtur, Great Arthurian, which is the like the generic bread and butter one. Great Arthurian is basically your ultramarine version of
your poster boy.
Trans-Hyperion Cronus, much like the Tyranids, and Ibir. None of those names mean anything to me.
Also, Ligma.
I wonder if Go on, Dan.
Just Ligma and Sugma.
I wonder if the Kronos one has any kind of time shenanigan abilities.
Oh, I think it's just a fucking name.
Yeah.
I think they just, similar to the episode of South Park where they checked to see how the stock market functioned. I think they just cut the throat of chicken and see where it lands.
The death chicken, yeah.
They have a bunch of strats. Obviously, the strats got leaked. Quite a lot of strats got leaked. I think it might be all of their strats got leaked actually. They have a strat that turns off psychic powers. You can select a squad and just fucking can't be affected by psychic powers. A lot of the strats reference a judgment points system. Don't really know what it does at all. Just the strats can alter it. And then
it seems those points go on the enemy. So maybe something similar to either JC markers or marker light counters.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Or Eldar Sisters of Battle type mechanic.
What? You fucking what?
I'm saying, would it not be like an Eldar Sisters of Battle dice mechanic?
No, we just told you the counters that go on the enemy.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Oh, yeah, no. So it won't be Strands of Fate or fucking Harlequin's Fate dice and shit like that. There's also mention of beam type weapons in one of the strats. Do love a good beam. It does mortal wounds, by the way.
A beam,
of course.
They just ride around in BMWs.
Yes, a beamer. So I'm guessing one of their fancy fucking crackers weapons is going to be draw a line, it hits everything in that line, and then you use the strat to do mortal wounds in addition. It'd be interesting.
Those weapons all sound really good.
But in practice...
Like, there's a Blood Angel Psychic one that does that. You never use them because who in the right mind's going to line up your units that way?
Yeah, it doesn't work against, like, elite armies either.
No.
You'd be surprised. Yeah. Those things always do. Those things always do more damage. You don't need many things to line up. You catch like 3 to 4 things, which a lot of the times is pretty easy. If you catch a good angle, you can do some damage.
So 1 millimeter wide line.
Yeah, the width is irrelevant.
If that good, every Tech Marine would have a conversion beamer.
Nobody fucking runs Tech Marines. Why the fuck would you run a Tech Marine, dude? But if you look at something like Mortarian's Lantern,
yeah,
that shit always hits a bunch of things.
True. But then I think his is the only good beam weapon in the game, to be honest. I'm trying to think of anything else.
There you go. I just remembered the fucking Tau one is bullshit as well.
Tau has a beam weapon?
Yeah, they got one. I think it's a relic. Pretty sure it's one of their relics. It's complete bullshit. I've felt the pain of it a couple of times now.
Yeah,
let me find it while you guys talk about the next thing.
Yeah, no, that was it. That's aside from that, you guys mentioned to me that there is a new Plastic Leviathan. which I didn't catch for some reason because I only look at the 40k articles. I completely ignore the Horus Heresy articles. But it kind of affects 40k. Yeah, Plastic Leviathan Siege Dreadnought. Is it just me?
What also,
or do his legs look a little bit rounder than the resin one?
stumpy. They look a bit stumpy to me.
They seem very round.
I mean, we've both got one, haven't we?
I don't have one, but I think you and Dan might.
You know? Yeah, I do. Oh, Dan does?
What's that?
A Leviathan.
You've got a Leviathan.
No, I don't have a Leviathan
No.
anymore.
You used to have a Death Guard one, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah.
I mean, I know what Nathan's saying because I look at mine and I look at that, and they just seem that little bit. And I don't know if it's just because the Forge World one's obviously posable, and I'm not sure whether the plastic one is as posable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the dude just seem like it seems a little bit more sat down, like squat heavy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's literally bending his knees, bracing himself to shoot his big guns.
Yeah.
There you go. I found the Tau weapon.
He's
If
doing
you would
squats.
like to know.
Go on then.
It's pretty fucking mean. It's the alternating fusion blaster. 12-inch assault 1, 8 - 4, d6 + 2 with
Shit.
draw line bullshit. Yeah. It's just a melter that penetrates.
That's kind of cool.
What more could you want? It's pretty boss.
That does actually tickle my fancy a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. The
thing is, go on. Sorry.
No. There's nothing.
I was going to say the other thing that might interest you, just with your Corn Berserkers, is just to make it in line. There's also a plastic Horus Heresy Rhino.
No, Rhino is the Sicarian things. No, Spartan.
No. There is a. So you know the Forge World Rhinos.
Nope.
I've heard of them, yeah.
The 30k that are harking back to the old RTB1 plastic rhinos. You know the first edition rhinos, where they had the round doors and the two like single bolters on the top, where you could have like a combi bolter on the top of them. The old style rhinos that had like two hatches on the front instead of like the single. Yeah. So they've got a plastic one of them.
I mean, it's just a Rhino, right?
It is just a Rhino. It's just aesthetically, it's a lot more pleasing. Like I say, it goes back to the old school.
Yeah, but
Rhinos.
Mastodon.
This is true. You know, it'd be better if they allowed you to take the Spartan. Not that anyone would take. To be honest, transports.
I would.
Are just like.
I'm pretty sure you can take Spartans.
Can you?
What?
Yeah.
In a 40k army?
Are
What
you
we're
sure
talking
you
about?
can't?
I don't think you can.
Yes, you
Let me
can
check.
take. Of course, you can take a Spartan in a 40k army.
gonna
You
say,
just
you
pay
can-
You pay a CP. It's like the Leviathan and the
Chaos
relic
doesn't.
contenders.
Chaos
Where?
doesn't. But
Where?
yeah, the Spartan. I'm pretty sure because I was gonna say it's most of these things, most of the Forge World stuff you can take.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not under dedicated transport.
What isn't?
The Spartan.
Well, it wouldn't be.
Well, what is it under?
Heavy support? Surely.
Nope.
Chaos
There's
Land
no
Raider.
Spartan.
Chaos Land.
Oh, it's a
Chaos
Lord
Land
of
Raider.
War. Why is it a Lord of War?
What's a Lord
It's-
of War? The Mastodon.
Oh yeah, what? No, the
there's
Spartan.
Chaos
Yeah,
Spartan.
460 points.
the
What
fuck?
the? What?
Ah!
It's T8, 20 wounds, 2 up save.
2 seconds battle scribe.
What the fuck, dude? Why? It looks
I'm pretty
so
sure it's-
small. Why?
It is small. It's the size of a Land Raider, if not smaller.
That's cracked. I don't understand. It's tiny. Look how fucking small it is. It's just a Land Raider with a big nose.
Yeah.
And a lot of
You're a
guns.
Land Raider with a big nose.
I can't remember what they're called because there's like dedicated tanks that are on kind of like somewhere between a Rhino and Vindicator chassis, but they have like there's a Volkite version and everything. They're always painted up in Dark Angels colours. There's those as well, but yeah.
Oh
They're
yeah,
the
the
itty bitty
Vindicator
tanks.
laser destroyers. Yeah, but those are small.
No. There's other ones with like Volkite and
Oh,
Are
you're
you talking
talking
about
about
the
the
weird Sakaran
yeah.
pattern?
You're talking about the
shit?
Sakaran, right?
I'm not talking about the Sakaran. No, I'm talking about something completely separate. So there's another tank that's on the Rhino chassis
Yeah,
that
the
has
Vindicator.
like a laser. No, that's not a Vindicator. That has the equivalent of like a laser destroyer weapon and also the big Volkite version.
I have no idea.
No, you just won't. But give me a second, and I'll tell you.
You're talking about
So,
the Valdor tank hunter.
Valdo. No, don't think so.
I'm confused, bro.
So 2 seconds. Let's just go to a Sicarian. So Space Marines can take Sicarian, Omega, Punisher, Venator, any Sicarian battle tank for a CP. The
Yeah.
basic Sicarian is 180. Sicarian Omega is 190. Sicarian Punisher, which is the Punisher Gattle Cannon, 170, and the Venator is 185. And I'm sure
You are referring to the Typhon Heavy Siege Tank and the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer, and they are not available in 40k. They're only Horus Heresy. They're on the same
that what I'm talking
chassis
about?
as the Spartan Assault Tank.
2 seconds. Give us the name again.
A Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer. Yeah, I'm looking at them.
No, because they're the Land Raider sized ones. In fact, they're bigger than a Land Raider. They're like a Super Land Raider.
Your mum's a super Land Raider.
That's what she said.
What?
Forge World.
Dimos Pattern Vindicator.
This is a whack tangent we went on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he means the Vindicator. I'm almost positive he means the Vindicators.
I genuinely don't know what I'm
Dimos
talking
Vindicator Laser Destroyer. It's a...
Destroyer, no, which is the one with the 4 turrets, which is just a Vindicator, but it's really cool because it shoots like the equivalent of las cannons. Got fuck all to do with them. 2 seconds. Forge World.
It's
Horus
literally
Heresy.
the Rhino chassis with a big gun attached. That's what you're on about, right?
No, hang on.
It's just the Dimos pattern kits. That's all it is.
Ah, yeah, Dimos ones. Yeah, because those are just rhinos with slightly different
armament
things. Yeah.
Unless there's anything else to add, I'm not too fussed about a Forge World model that no one plays. The man's Google fooing hard. I can hear it.
I am. You can feel it. You can feel it. Like, what's new? Like, new, refine.
Anyway, Dan, while James is fucking about, what did you think to the Horus Heresy box set?
A great value. It's what we refer to in the business as a trap.
Yes.
It's a trap. A great kit if that's all you want. Just a bunch of starter bits. But if you want to upgrade your armies past that point, involves you going into Forge World shit, which is very, very expensive.
Yeah, I think the average cost for a Forge World Horus Heresy army is like £2,000 or £3,000.
Really?
It's absolutely insane.
They are very expensive.
Because obviously, it's all of the models are literally 3 times the price of plastic, if not more.
I found it.
Yeah, what's it called? Dimos.
It's called a Space Marine Legion Sabre Strike Tank.
Ah, so it doesn't exist anymore. And that's the fucking Land Raider chassis. You're lying to me.
It's not. I'm not lying to you.
Morgan.
I'm not.
You're lying.
I'm not, dude. It looks like a Land Raider, but it's the size of a Rhino.
Doesn't even exist in the rules. I'm assuming that's Horus Heresy only. Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm guessing so, but
It's
I'm
Heresy only.
also going to go out on a limb and say that it will. But this is the vehicle I was referring to. It's on a Rhino-style chassis. Like, size-wise, it's on par with a Rhino. It looks meaty on the photos, but the reality is, it's tiny.
It's Don't Talk to Me or My Son Ever Again.
It's
Size.
Well, put it this way: if you look at the profile of it and then look at the hunter-killer missiles, that puts it into context because they are standard hunter-killer missiles.
Yeah.
It's when you analyze your homie's dick pics. It looks big in the picture.
Yeah.
When you start,
But in
when
reality,
you start comparing things, yeah.
So, like I say, Sicarians for you guys for Chaos are classed as Lords of War.
Yes.
For Space Marines, they're just fucking pay 1 CP.
I think it's just because of the Codex Crackers stuff.
Yeah, so that's going to get upgraded. But this is what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if, when they do the next Forge World update book, you guys, if not everybody, gets access to the likes of these.
But why?
Unless they're going to redo them in plastic. Because at the minute they're selling them at Forge World and they're a brand new kit. Well, I say brand new. When I say brand new, they're less than 2 years old at least.
But no one wants them. I certainly don't.
I would.
But
I think what's going to happen is, honestly, I don't think that many things are going to move over to plastic.
nah.
I think the good, the sort of main bits are going to be plastic, and then all of the good shit is going to be Forge World.
Yeah, got to get you. It's like a drug dealer giving you that, that free taste, and then next thing you know, you're selling your kids for your next crack fix.
I'm sorry. Yet again, I'm going to disagree with you two. I think everything's going across the plastic as far as Horus Heresy is concerned. I think Forge World are going to concentrate on the likes of Blood Bowl,
Blood Bowl.
Necromunda.
You wouldn't gut an entire business that's making an astounding profit margin.
Yeah, the profit margins for Forge Worlds are dumb, mainly off the back of Warhammer.
They're not going to gut that business for the convenience of the customer. Definitely not. Nah, but
What do you think?
The new Horus Heresy kit's cool though. I'm a fan. I was tempted to go halves with anyone that wanted to buy one, but no one was actually going to buy one. Cause
I don't like the fucking rules, man. I don't like the rules
either. But I do like the models. I would like to use the Terminators for my White Scars. Or I'd like to just take that fucking Contemptor Dreadnought and put it in my World Eaters list or whatever. Or take the standard Mark 6 Space Marines, equip them all with heavy weapons and use them as Havocs. So, yeah, but nobody wanted to buy the box, so nothing for me.
Sad.
Do you know why I think that they're venturing into plastic now?
To get people into
and this is my theory. Well, yeah, get you glued to it, but for the obvious reason. So, Space Marines, in the sense of Firstborn, we know kind of eventually will be phased out for Primaris. Because we haven't had a new Firstborn Space Marine kit.
Well, I mean, they already are phased out for Primaris.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, you're going to have all of these people, myself included, that's probably got 100 plus Firstborn Space Marine models.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Does it make sense for them to turn around and say, okay, so eventually Firstborn are going to be phased out of 40k and you can just use them in that? Because realistically, all of the Firstborn marks were used in the Horus Heresy, or there was only one mark, which I think was the Mark 7 Firstborn mark, that wasn't used in the actual Horus Heresy, but it was used in the Scouring, which is like just after the Horus Heresy. And let's be honest, lore-wise and book-wise, they've kind of almost written out the entire story of the Heresy. So then where do you go from the Heresy? You go to the Great Scouring, which is where they chased them into the Eye of Terror. And Games Workshop could quite easily stretch that period of the verse, the lore, out for another 20 years. In which case you've got the 40k Horus Heresy, the Horus Heresy, and then it'll be the Heresy stroke Scouring on one rule set, and 40k moving forward possibly into 41k or whatever with Primaris and everything into the second set. And then
we're already in the 41st millennium.
Yeah, we are. I mean, technically, we're anywhere between the 38th and the 44th, I think, according to Gulliman. Nobody actually knows because there was never a consistent timeline. That was a very, very clever lore plot twist that they've introduced that gives them a bit of breathing space in the whole lore-wise and game-wise.
They just renamed the universe to Warhammer 38k.
Yeah.
That's a great name, by the way.
No, it's not. But yeah, but that's what I mean. So you've got all of those models that will stretch across that span, and then all of those models that stretch across the modern span, and then they're just encouraging you to buy another rule book. Because quite a lot of people have got all of those models that are kind of redundant now. But if Games Workshop as a company is smart, they're not going to give the fail bads and just basically say that entire collection of first... From RTB1 up until Primaris are completely null and void. They're just going to say drop them in and play them in this rule set and play all of your new Primaris Marines that you've bought in this rule set.
I think you give them a lot of credit for master plans.
They don't want you to reuse your models.
Yeah.
The fuck you on about?
They want you to buy more.
Buy.
It's all about selling that crack and resin.
Well, okay. Maybe say I'm giving them 2.
But who can know? As far as I'm aware, I don't see anybody playing Firstborn Marines in Horus Heresy. Because Horus Heresy has a lot of wacky loadouts and stuff. And just weird models.
You don't see people playing Firstborn Marines in Horus Heresy?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
What weapon have they got that doesn't apply in the Horus Heresy?
If you look at the Horus Heresy models from Forge World, their loadouts are fucking bizarre. They got loads of weird weapons all over the place.
Not the basic Legionnaires.
I get what you mean, but at the same time, it's not a case. It's a case of snapping off a couple of arms. Not. How many times have we done that? Changed the weapon loadout.
Yeah.
No, I can see people using the old Firstborns.
Especially when you think about the fact that the way they've released, and this is the other thing, think about it. The way they've released the new model kits is they've said, there's the bog standard Legionnaire, and rather than sell you a Devastator squad, we're going to sell you Devastator arms and shoulders. And they've even said, they've admitted themselves that on the new plastic kits, the Devastator and the special weapon upgrades will work on any existing plastic kit. However, the Forge World Space Marines, because they were that bit skinnier and, like, do you know what I mean? They weren't as chonky. It's going to take a little bit of green stuff. They've admitted that themselves. I think it was either on a video or an article. But essentially, you can take any of the new Horus Heresy, sprue upgrades, Devastator special weapons, whatever kits, and they will snugly fit on any plastic Space Marine, but they won't snugly fit. You'll have to do a little bit of conversion work on the resin kits.
Fair enough.
So, and it's more economical as well, apparently, to buy a Space Marine, a bog standard new Horus Heresy Space Marine squad plus the Legion upgrades brew pack than it is just to buy like Devastator squads when you're doing it on bulk.
No, fair enough. That makes sense.
So, again, this is what ties into my ethos about Primaris in 40k.
You
Your
better
first
stop
one.
that shit right now. Stop. No Primaris in Horus Heresy, man. Come on.
You've already been in the Horus Heresy. There was an article that already put.
No, stop.
On that note,
There's already
we'll see you
law, there's
guys
already
next
law,
week on
Dan.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. James will be playing Blood Angels
law.
against Death Guard, and I'll be going and killing myself right now. Thank you for watching and listening. Fuck Horus Heresy, I guess.